Olá mais uma vez, olá de novo. Agora sim, convidamos ao palco o nosso keynote speaker, Dr. Florian Kongoli. Ele é CEO da FLOGEN Technology Inc., apresentando a FLOGEN Sustainability Framework and Agro-Environmental.
Hello, good afternoon. It's a pleasure and honor speaking again. I spoke during the opening ceremony, but this is a 45 minutes talk, and I'll use this occasion to speak about something that I have close in my heart. It is FLOGEN Sustainability Framework we have developed some time ago because of the necessity, not without any reason. So, as you see there, the title is FLOGEN Sustainability Framework and Agro Development. You know, sustainability today is a buzzword. Everywhere you see sustainability, including the washroom in the airport, including the washrooms in the rental car agencies. So everywhere it is. The issue is what it is, what's the real sustainability. That's the purpose of the talk. First, I start with a picture. You see here, we have a fight between an eagle and a drone. The question is, this is where we are today. The issue is who will win, the eagle or the drone. I'm not starting without any reason with this picture because I'll go a little bit later on this. And then after this picture, I'm going to show a video. The drone in agro development. Development, the possibility to use drone in agriculture, increase productivity, makes life of workers much easier, and solves so many issues. A huge development, positive development. And another video about drones.
112 operator, what is your emergency?
It's my dad. I think he had a heart attack. Please help. He's not breathing anymore.
Please stay calm. What's your name?
Joanna.
Good, Joanna. We've got your location. The ambulance drone is on its way. Remove his top shirt to uncover his torso.
Okay.
Great. Can you go to the nearest exit? The ambulance drone is almost there.
Okay. I'm outside.
I'll be talking through the drone now, so you can put down the phone. Now please pick up the drone and bring it to your father. You're doing great. Okay, pull the green lid. Now place the pads on your father's chest. Good, I can see that the pads are properly applied. Joanna, please stay clear of your father. We'll take it from here.
Hi, I'm Alec Momon. I'm a graduate student at the TU Delft working on a project for Living Tomorrow and UZ Gent. Our vision is to improve current emergency infrastructure with a network of drones capable of saving lives. At over 100 km/h, these drones create an ultra-fast response system capable of increasing this survival chance from 8% to 80%. This is because the ambulance drone is not affected by current road infrastructure, but is capable of flying in a straight line, bringing down the average response time of an ambulance from 10 minutes to 1. We developed a new type of drone that is capable of folding into a very compact position. The drone essentially becomes a flying toolbox for your emergency supplies. Using advanced production techniques such as 3D printed microstructures and carbon fiber frame construction, we were able to achieve a very lightweight design. Our iterative process using design sketching, laser cutting and CNC milling allowed us to rapidly visualize our ideas. The result is an integrated solution that is clear in its orientation and friendly in appearance. Let's use drones for a good purpose. Let us use drones to save lives.
So the drones save life, another huge positive development. Another use of drones.
Give me your fucking money!
Fucking whoa!
Put your wallet in the bag! Do it, motherfucker!
I'm not giving you my fucking wallet! Is that a gun? Whoa, Jesus Christ! Hang on, I got it!
Fucking face! Put the money in the bag now! What you got? What?
So, the same drone, the same technological advancement can be used in positive way or negative way. Depends where you use it. That's the very important thing in technology. We need the role of government, law and science to put a right framework how science and technology can be used. You remember Alfred Nobel developed dynamite for mining. It was used for World War I as a main weapon. Now, I'm going to a little bit back here later. Now, let's speak about the sustainable development. I told you that there is a huge confusion in literature. First, what are the three criteria of sustainability? Environmental protection, economic development, and social development. These are the only three criteria. There are no other. To be sustainable, we have to fulfill them simultaneously. Any of the criteria is not fulfilled, we are not sustainable. What happened until now? Until now, we are industrial revolution, technology, we forgot the environment. Now, we are in a different extreme situation. We went 100% toward the environment and we forgot the economic development, and even social development was considered not a good thing. We should do sacrifices in order to protect the environment. What happened after COVID? We are in economic crisis. And then again we said, oh, we are in crisis. Economic development is good. Why? Because people that do not have to eat, those that do not have to eat, they will not care about the environment. So this is the history of politics today, jumping in one direction, we are thinking, ignoring others. So basically, if we ignore one of those, we are not sustainable. Now, many around the world, I have subjects that are close to my heart. People working for government, they want to see government in sustainability. Some that are working for human rights want to put human rights in sustainability, culture, you name it. What happened today is sustainability became like a big box. Everybody was throwing inside the issues they have dear in their heart. Nothing wrong with that. The issue is this creates big confusion, and the confusion stands still today. That's why we developed the FLOGEN sustainability framework, dividing criteria from the pillars, from the actors. It's a big difference. Government has nothing to do with the criteria of sustainability. Government is an actor. Science and technology is not a criteria, is an actor, is a tool. And education is a tool. So we have, I mentioned the confusion before going there. You know, criteria were unsystematically put in one box. Nobody knew what we were speaking about. So that's why we created this new framework. While coming here from Sao Paulo to Rio in LATAM airline, the coffee was served in a carton box. Sostenibilidade, un destino necessario. So it's a destination. Here you see it's kind of destination. It's a destination or a goal. It's a destination. How many kilometers do we need to go to this destination? So it's good to have a buzzword, but what is really is, and how people on the plane will understand that is necessary for what. Now, that's why we divided actors from the criteria. What are the actors? Actors are actors. Depends how you act, and then you can help sustainability or destroy sustainability or hinder sustainability. The first one to start with is science, technology, and industrial practice. This is the key point, the most important one in terms of the sustainability. Why? Because science, technology, and industrial practice give solutions. You know, so you have to start with solutions. But it's another important actor. The other actor is government with 3 executive branches. Why they are important? I mentioned before. Alfred Nobel developed dynamite for mining for a good purpose. It was used for war as a big weapon. So government issues right frameworks in order any invention, like in terms of drone, is not used against humans. And human rights are part of the social development in the criteria. And the third pillar is education and civil society. If we do not educate young people in the university to act sustainably through this, to achieve these 3 criteria simultaneously, then we are nowhere. Basically, the 3 actors are equally important. Very important from this point of view because I'll explain why, but this is in the graphical form. You see, is a table with 3 pillars, 3 legs. So in each of them, you have science and technology. The first pillar, governance management, and the third, education and civil society. And as a table with 3 pillars, any of the pillars goes down, the whole structure goes down. So they are equally important. Cooperation is equally important. They hold what? They hold sustainable development, which is the area in the middle here. In order to be sustainable, you have to fulfill the 3 criteria: social advancement, economic, environmental protection, and economic growth. One of these criteria is not fulfilled, we are not sustainable. These are the criteria, these are the actors. The actors can help sustainability or hinder sustainability. And this is all inclusive. I mentioned government. Government is here. I mentioned law. Law is here. Management of different industrial companies is here. Education is pretty clear. Science and technology is a tool. What about in economic growth? And strangely enough, in the goals, sustainable goals of United Nations, economic growth is only in one of the goals. There are 17 goals. Economic growth is only one. At that time, economy was good. Well, nobody was speaking a lot about economy. It's only one criteria. All those sustainable goals of United Nations fall in one of these criteria. Most of them fall here. And most of the rest fall here. Here we have 1 or 2. So this is I mentioned culture. Culture is the social development. I mentioned the human rights. Human rights and social development. These are the criteria. For example, if the drones are used against humans, or the artificial intelligence is used against humans, we are not fulfilling social advancement. And you name anything you want, everything falls in this. It is all inclusive. It is very representative of everything that is in this world. And this has been used in many companies, in many universities and government as a criteria to approve any of the projects, public or private. They have to fulfill all the criteria. Okay. Now, why role of science and technology? Let's start with some interesting things. So every profession is important. I am also kind of artist. I'm kind of literary person. I'm also deal with politics. But if we want to start somewhere, we have to start with science and technology in order to have solutions. Poor government is poor without solutions. Government, what they can do, managing the existing water, managing the existing, collecting batteries and so on. But then what to do with it? Without sustainable technology, you can do anything. You cannot do anything. So, this is the interesting part. This is a book published in the United States. It's called, in 2018, it's called We Are Doomed, Now What? Okay? What they're saying that the only true moral response to global climate change is to commit suicide. The conclusions of the book. There is simply no more effective way to shrink our carbon footprint. Once we are dead, we use no more electricity, we don't eat meat, we don't burn any gasoline, etc. And if you really want to save the planet, we should die. These are conclusions of the book, not mine, huh? This is the book. So, we are doomed, correct? 2018. The question is this new? Actually, no. It's not new at all. This is Malthus in 1798. What did he say? He used mathematical exponential growth models, okay, in paper at the time. And then he found out that the population will be increased exponentially. The resources, the food, will increase only linearly. The model is fine. Mathematically it stands. Plus, minus, it's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Since 1995, the population increased at a rate twice as Malthus predicted. So the prediction was right, not wrong. What is the problem? The science, the mathematics, was a grand disruptor, and it was not wrong. The issue is what was wrong with that? Solution proposed. What was the solution proposed? Proposal is raise the death rate using hunger, disease, war. Okay? Preventive checks, lower the birth rate by using abortion, birth control, prostitution, postponement of marriage, and celibacy. So the guy had a very good model, mathematical model, but then the moment when he tries to find a solution, he forgets science and goes to politics. Okay, so we should use all this as a solution. Here below are my publications that speak about this. 1798, he's saying that we'll have a crisis and not enough food to feed the population. Now, this is in a book, a best-selling book, published in the United States in 1967. You can understand from the title. It says the conclusion it will be impossible to feed the entire global population for the future growth. It looks like today, correct? And then a widespread famine will be inevitable by 1975. We'll have a big crisis in 1975. And again, the mathematical model used was not wrong. Plus minus, not exactly the same, but plus minus. It is a good base. So the world population increased by 2 billion in 25 years since last half of 20th century. Prediction right, not wrong. Science was a disruption, was a disruptor. Okay? The problem is, what is the solution? In the moment that they jump from science to solutions, they forgot science and they say, okay, we should use the triage system. We should select countries that are not worth living, let them die. And keep only the countries that are worth living and keep them with enough food. The others, let them die of hunger. That's the conclusion of the book. This was the solution. And we go a little bit further. The Population Bomb. It's another best-selling book in the United States, 1968. The conclusions are almost the same. The population of our world since 1930 had doubled from about 2 billion to nearly 4 billion with a single generation, okay? Mathematical model, still not bad, good enough. You know? So we'll have a crisis. We'll not have enough food to feed the population. But then, as I said, the model was okay. It was proven and even surpassed the issue of science. Then it was a disruptor of the status quo. The solution actually is the same proposed in the other book. We have to choose which country is worth living, which country is worth dying. We have to select and let them die. These are books that you can find yourself in the library. They are somewhere there. Now, that is another book in 1972, Club of Rome, The Limits of Growth. Again, computer models are used to measure the resource, the global resource consumption and production, and then population, food necessity, industrialization, pollution, consumption of non-renewable and natural resources continue to grow exponentially, and the ability of the technology to increase resources grew only linearly. Well, that's not bad as a prediction. Mathematically, scientifically, is plus minus correct. Okay, and this is proven. The issue is again the solution. The solution given were the same as previous one. We are in 1972 now, not as harsh as before, but they were saying we have, instead of killing people by war, we have to limit the growth. The idea is to limit the growth. You remember? Flashback to my definition of sustainability. We have to limit the growth. Okay? So, and then let's continue. Global to the President, the report Global to the President. It is, this was the report submitted to Jimmy Carter, the President of the United States. He is still alive. He's almost 100 years old. Again, computer models, now there are computer models used to analyze the resource consumption and the production. So the world by 2000 will be more, this is the conclusion. The world by 2000 will be more crowded and more vulnerable to disruption than the world we live now. Serious stresses involving population, resources, and environment and are clearly visible ahead. Despite greater materials output, the world's people will be poorer in many ways than they are today. Does not refute or contradict other books on the limit of growth I just mentioned. Okay? So, the mathematical model was not wrong, plus minus, it was the same. It was good, not bad. The issue is, this is the proof. This is United Nations data. All previous, since 1978, 1798. All models were practically good. The population from 1800 to 2000 grew exponentially. That's correct. Nothing wrong with that. So, the issue is, why we are standing today. Since 1798, we had a prediction of collapse in the food, collapse in the population. We have prediction of severe collapse in the societies in the world because of the lack of food. So the question is why? Why? Because of science and technology. For example, the Green Revolution, nothing to do with the green word today. It was green because it was agro. Of Norman Borlaug, a series of research, development, and technology transfer initiative increased agricultural production worldwide, particularly in the developing world. So we developed serious high-yielding variety of cereal grain, expansion of irrigation and structure, modernization of managing techniques, distribution of hybridized seeds, synthetic fertilizer, pesticides to farmers, etc. And Professor Swaminathan's work in India increased the production of wheat production from 12 to 17 million tons. And because of this, Norman Borlaug, the father of the so-called Green Revolution, got the Nobel Prize because of the work of the Indian professor. So, did you see, it is science that it was fighting all the previous conclusions and beat them all. These are the data. These are not my data. These are United Nations data. And this is very good to see. So, world production in 1961. Any type of food, cereals, fruit, maize, sugarcane, etc., etc. This is in ton in 1961 and about in 2016. The increase is in percentage from 200% to 414%. United Nations data, you can go and check yourself. And what happened with population increase? Population increase, you can see here. In 1961, we had 3 billion people. In 2016, we have 7 billion people. The increase is 139%. In developed region, the increase was 35%. In less developed region was 183%. What do you see here? The population increase was much less than the production of food in the world. It's a big difference. Okay, we can say, well, we do not know. What about the quality of life? Because it's a measurement, social development criteria of our definition. And one of the criteria, main criteria of quality of life, it is the life expectancy. From 1961, we have this life expectancy in different areas in the world. And in 2016, the life expectancy went up considerably. So not only we produce more food, but the quality of life of people increased a lot with this percentage. So it is not only the food production, but also the quality of human life increased considerably. These are United Nations data, not mine. Huh? Everybody is able to go and check them. So science fought against all this miserable scenario. We're going to collapse and collapse and collapse. Since 200 years, we are standing today. And although the predictions were not bad, huh? So, do you want this in a graphical form? You have it in a graphical form? Okay. This is the article at the end. Here in the graphical form, you see how the fruits, maize, rice, all type of food types increase over the time, and the population growth. Actually, the wheat and increase sort of exponential. It's not exactly, but increase much higher than the population. Population is here. World population is this line. Population in developed regions is this one. In developing regions is one. So you see the food overpassed the growth of world population. Not by magic, but because of science. And that's another I mentioned about the quality of life. This is life expectancy at the same period. From 1960 to 2015, life expectancy increased a lot. Not only we had enough food, but life expectancy increased a lot. And then we have here in the less developed regions, in the more developed regions, and the entire world. So this is a key that science can bring solutions. Now, today, artificial intelligence is a buzzword also. Now, we used to do this in our high-tech company. We have been using it a long time ago, just we didn't put the name artificial intelligence. But now it is a buzzword. But, this is not new. Artificial intelligence is a sort of automation we've been dealing for since we established our high-tech company. Now, in the beginning, public opinion was against automation and it was against artificial intelligence. Why? And this is amazing to see. In New York Times article, front page article in August 24, 2013, how technology wrecked the middle class. Okay, so computers are taking over, will leave us without job, etc. Front page article. And these are written by really famous people, famous professor from David H. from Massachusetts Institute of Technology and from the Center of Monetary and Financial Studies in Madrid, Spain. These are not exact science, but for front page article, people against intelligence, against automation. And we can continue forever. For example, are we in danger of losing a race against the machine? It's not an article from today. It is an article from, this is a 1970s. So it looks like we are speaking for the reality today, but it's not. Are we becoming slaves of our robot overlords? That's another article. This is in 1970s, 60s, so it's not today. It looks very similar. Do smart machines threaten us with long-term misery? So from an economist, Jeffrey Sachs, I'll mention a little bit later, he's my friend, etc. So all these articles will gain automation. Have we reached the end of the labor? Okay, these are all in major journals, front page articles, etc. We were against this. And then this is the book I published in 2012. What is automation? And I make the case, automation or AI today, it is a sustainable activity. It is a sustainable activity. And these books will lost 100,000 copies distributed worldwide. It is in the internet for free. How I defined the automation at the time. I was against all these academics and all these that were against automation. How I defined the automation in that book, in the preface of that book, you can see and check it. Automation is related to the modern world for the need for sustainability. This is written in 2012. You can check in the internet. The goal is to do more with less, which is the principle of one of the principles of sustainability. What automation in AI does, it replaces the routine part of human labor, frees the energy for non-routine part. Humans in their DNA are creative, they are creatures that work to create new things. So if you spend time on routine, you have no time to create new things. So We let the machines to do the routine. And free space, time for humans to deal with more challenging issues. I just mentioned this. And create a magnificent cycle. The moment we create a new thing, then we have to use it. We let the robot use the routine work, and we jump on with a new idea. This creates huge possibility of creation, and human beings are one of those that are looking for new things instead of dealing for routine. This is from from the preface of the book I wrote in 2012. So I was against all these journalists that they were saying that automation is against the society. Sure, automation and AI will take some jobs away. And the issue is, then is the role of the government. I mentioned the three pillars are equally important. The role of the government to give money to give these people that lose jobs, to give them training in the new technology, even for free. That's the role of the government. It's a very important one, to prepare them for the new technologies. Those people that lose the job because of the routine, they can go train for new challenges and for free, without pay. So this is the beauty of this. At the end of the day, we have more gains than losses. And this has been the story of human society. I mentioned a little bit of this. If you use our sustainability framework, you will be able to find out any activity it is sustainable or not. In the three criteria, in the environmental dimension, control prevents emission of many greenhouse gas and water pollutants. Automation and AI can do that very easily. Saves overall energy and reduce cost. What we want today, we want to save energy. Automation can do that. So it's sustainable in terms of environmental point of view. What about in terms of the second criteria of economic point of view? In economic dimension, so stimulate innovative growth, creates maximize add-on value. So you have so many things: increase productivity, efficiency, quality of products before what we achieve by humans. Saves time, effort, financial resources, and in the overall cycle of the things, and promote the creation of a new job in the new sectors. So in the economic dimension, also a criteria, automation or AI is also a sustainable activity. What about in the social development? This is a third criteria, equally important. We have to fulfill them all. If we don't fulfill them all, you are not sustainable, we are not sustainable. So in social dimension, increase living standards, replacing routine of time-consuming duties with free space for more quality of life. Somebody said in our conference that imagine how life would have looked today without a clothes washing machine. So you're going to wash the clothes by hand again. So instead of washing by hand again, you do some other things. So this is quality of life. Help in profit distribution, etc., etc. So automation, AI is a sustainable activity. Sure, with a big, that's why I mentioned the drone in the beginning. Any technology can be used for positive things and negative things. So AI can be used against humans, but if it is used against humans, it does not fulfill the criteria of social development. And here, the government has to put the right legal framework. The lawyers have to apply this framework to make sure that any AI production does not go against humans. Why against humans? Because human development, social development, it was one of the criteria of sustainability at the beginning I mentioned. And here I mentioned it also. Role of the government is very important. Make sure that all people that lose a job are retrained for free for a new type of jobs, for new, more non-routine jobs. And this is make a big case for new development. And we have had huge successes in automation. We have used automation and AI. We have an A to Z system, a 360-degree system that has decreased the energy consumption by 10 to 40% depending on the energy. Our system has is a complete design, decision-making, optimization, control, and automation system, and AI system that can achieve this in the heavy industries. It can achieve this also in the agro business, improve the quality, increase yield, decrease specific fluctuation, decrease number of shutdowns. All these are sustainable activity, because here we make life of people easy, we increase the economy and economic output, and then we improve and protect the environment at the same time. The three criteria of sustainability. So normally, any financial product of the sector we worked with, they have had from $0.5 to $12 million additional profit per year. Being sustainable does not mean to be poor. Sustainability gives you the reason to be profitable. That's a big misconception today. That's a big misconception today. You do not need to be poor to be sustainable. No, because if you are poor, the one of the criteria of sustainability is not fulfilled, which is economic growth and life of humans. These two criteria are not fulfilled, so you are not sustainable. So, being, actually it opened doors for being more profitable, even in the agronomy business is a huge development. I mentioned the drone. Drone is automation. Instead of you go by plane and put fertilizer, you use drones. So this is a very important topic. So to be sustainable doesn't mean to be poor and not to have profit. So recycling and landfilling, which one is sustainable? Looks like a stupid question, correct? Now, in the United States, there were many companies starting doing recycling of various things, okay? After 2 or 3 years, they went bankrupt. Why? Because the technology used were not sustainable. What does it mean were not sustainable? Because the cost was too high. So that means that we're not assuring the economic growth. If you spend more than what you produce, then you're not sustainable. So if there is no technology that can recycle materials in a sustainable way with the three criteria or a low cost, it's better to landfill it until the new technology a new sustainable technology has been developed. So it's a question of relativity. So sure, everyone needs, if it is possible, everything to be recycled. But it is the role of science and technology to develop those technologies that are low cost, fulfill exactly the three criteria. That's why our framework we use to judge for each project. First of all, any product, any technology, first has to be to assure economic growth, also be low cost. Second, to protect the environment. Third, to improve human life. And a technology that doesn't serve all of these three, especially is too costly, it can go bankrupt, it is a waste of money. So actually it is against sustainability. So that's why science has a decisive role. So sure, in order to assure the recyclability, we have to have these technologies. Another contribution we've done is a central paradigm of material science and engineering. Okay, before we interfere here, this was a structure. You have a material, you process it, you have a structure, the structure gives you a property, and the property gives you a performance. What is missing here? Something is missing. This is from 1997, okay? And when we got this, we redefined, we added the missing link, reutilization and recyclability. So this was missing in that, meaning that when you produce something, not only you have to take care of the structure, property, and performance, but you have to take care of the possibility of recyclability at the end of the life cycle. So you have to think this from the beginning, not at the end. We never thought about this before, but that's why we call the modified, this is our publication, Modified Central Paradigm of Material Science and Engineering. So we come actually, this is another description from Olson, 2001, University of, I think his University of Northwestern University, United States. So from processing, structure, properties, performance, this way you go goals and means, you go cause and effect. Still is missing one portion here. What is missing one portion here? It is missing the recyclability, which makes it the recyclability use, which makes it, circular. You hear a lot about circularity today, but circularity today cannot stand without sustainability criteria. It's out of the picture. And the role of government recycling is huge. So when you want to recycle batteries, who is going to gather the batteries? Nobody has an incentive. Government can make incentives to gather the used batteries. Can set up a legal framework for efficient waste collection and incineration. Is it good incineration or no? We do not know. You have to follow the FLOGEN sustainability framework to know which kind of project is sustainable at the end. It is or it is not. And make aware the population. This is the role of the government. So, as I said, there are three pillars of very equally important pillars. And we had so many successes in recycling. This is not just words, because using our proprietary system, we have decreased the reactor waste by 10 to 50%, depending on the reactor, increase the recyclability of waste 40 to 80%, and increase yield by 20 to 30%. So these are what you can achieve with new technologies. But they have to be sustainable, meaning that it has to be also low cost. You cannot spend more than produce. So again, this is the famous sustainability framework. Even a scientific project has to fulfill this. From the beginning, from the inception, even at the approval stage, you have to find out, does it assure economic growth, meaning it's low cost, it increases the productivity, improves the economy, one criteria. If it fulfills this, it's fine. Doesn't mean it is sustainable. Does it protect the environment? It reduces the gases? Does it protect the water? Does it protect anywhere? That's another criteria. That's not enough. This new technology will make miserable the life of humans, or will improve it? Yes or no? If the three are fulfilled, it will be sustainable. Who can achieve this? First of all, you as a scientist will achieve here through science and technology. But you cannot do alone. You need the government. Sometimes the government gives incentive, gives money, gives cooperation, PPP or whatever. But at the same time, you have to educate. You need people that are for today and for the future. So they are equally important, and you have cooperation between them. So this is completely, all inclusive. For example, in India, in 2011, at that time, everybody was against science and technology. One of the conclusions of the conference was that in order to be sustainable, we have to go back 800 years to be in peace with the nature. Another, you see the books of that time. I have all those books, and they say the solutions. We have to save water. We have to save water. So how to save water? Okay, the solution is, let's have shower not only once per day, only once per week. Human life becomes miserable. Okay, but that's the solution. It was given there, 2012. We fought all against these conclusions. You remember the pool lanes in the highway? So it was reserved, the pool lanes in our, they have disappeared today because we found out they're not sustainable. So if we have two people, you go in the pool in a special lane because you are using two people for one part. And then the other one is only for one or two. So at the end of the day, if you do the mathematics, it's not sustainable. So okay, so somebody was saying, do you want the car to spend less fuel? Okay, remove all the heavy objects, keep the car light. And somebody said, this is a good way I'm going to tell my wife to get out of the car, all my friends to get out of the car to save the environment. So these are not bad things, these are small things, but what is important is science and technology is the key to offer solutions. Otherwise, we end up, for example, I was in a keynote lecture in Madrid. Somebody asked me a question. You are speaking about sustainability, but we don't have water to drink. My reply was that you are just in front of the sea, Mediterranean Sea. That's water. So technology today can remove salt from the water and make it drinking water. It is a little bit costly today, but it will come. And I didn't know that time I was in the middle of summer. Barcelona was really in crisis for water, and most of the population was drinking water because of the company that was doing exactly the same thing. Was taking the water from the sea, remove the salt, and giving drinking water. Somebody else in the room told me this is true what he said, because right now this is our situation. Sure, a little bit expensive for the moment, but 3/4 of the planet is water. So there is no crisis of water, there is crisis of technology to produce drinking water. And that's why you people are so important here. So the future rests on you to develop how to improve these technologies. So again, to wrap it up, science is a disruptor. You saw since Malthus, science disrupted the society. All models were fine, plus minus. But the problem is, the moment we find the problem, when we search a solution, we forget science. We go to politics and based on science and say, let's kill people, let's try divorce, let's try against humans, let's do war to reduce the population of the world. And that's not the solution. Solution has to be looked first at science in close cooperation with the government. So for sure, but that's why the 3 pillars are equally important. So again, science is solution provider is one thing, but it's also, it is a disruptor one thing, and it is solution provider the second, that it has been forgotten in all those books I mentioned. Science was never looked as a solution provider, and actually it is. So these things, for example, these are all things. Intentionally I'm putting here all things, and you see how many of those are reality today. Once the CEO of Benz was saying, the real competitor of Benz and are Tesla, Google, Apple, and Amazon. Are they competitive today? They are. So this was just some 20 years back. Now they are. Uber is a software tool. They don't own any car, but it's the biggest taxi company of the world. It is a reality. And then Airbnb is a software tool, doesn't have any property, no hotels, nothing. Today we know. This I presented it long ago, but this is the reality. I kept the same intention. So the software will diagnose cancer better than humans. This is a huge story. In the United States, by statistics, the third reason of death, there are 3 big reasons. One, it is heart attack. The second one is cancer. And the third one, human error, doctor's error. The third biggest reason for death of human is a human error in diagnosis or applying different sickness. And then software will help huge in this direction. But sure, the software can be used for dirty purposes also. You can manipulate with AI the CT scan. You can manipulate, PET scans and show that the patient has cancer when he doesn't. This exists, but that's law. That's the government role to prohibit this. So today, all of this have happened. They're not coming from my mind. There are many humans. CT scans have been badly interpreted by humans, badly, and this has been huge effect. People have died, but also CT scans have been altered by AI in order to show for a person and says cancer, actually it doesn't. And then he followed all his life with chemotherapy being used when the person didn't even have cancer. Imagine you go all your life with chemotherapy when you don't have cancer. And that's why the software recognizes faces. This was 10 years ago. Now this is the reality. You know, that's why I presented this long time ago. This is the reality right now. So it will become more intelligent than humans. What is the risk here? What I mentioned. They should not go against human rights. They should go against humans. And this is the role of government and law and so on. And we know this is driverless cars. Now it's a reality. It's not exactly a reality, but it is almost there. So what does it mean? We will not need any more insurance. Insurance companies will cease to exist. Car insurance. What will happen to those people? If you hear it, oh, they're going to stay without job and so on. They can be retrained in other professions, in other. So, and that's the last stage. So, software will scan retina. We have much more water than we need from the seawater. Software will identify the disease. So this has been on a framework. This is what have been the goal of our event. We have every year event, which is based on FLOGEN sustainability framework. And then this year, for the first time, we have an agroforestry symposium. It is my fault. It has been out of the picture. We're going to include it there because there are 50 different fields of science. Agro was not there. And then we have a cooperation with Carlos and others to have it also specific symposium, which is and that's all. It's a huge potential automation and artificial intelligence in agro. Huge. A huge potential in recycling economy in agro. A huge potential in using science and technology in agro. Actually, it's much more in many compared to other sciences. And huge potential of using new materials and nanotechnology in agro development. So this is the last slide. Before finishing, just wanted to say our event we have every year has followed this concept since 2003 when we started 20 years ago. This is the symposium for the first time, International Symposium on Agroforestry for Sustainable Development. We have 10 Nobel laureates coming, many you know, in high-level guests. I don't like the word high-level. Distinguished guests. There are lawyers, judges, etc. They are coming. Following all the concept, there are many. It's multi-dimensional summit. There are 50 different fields, and this time will be Crete, Greece. You are all invited to attend. We do it every year. In 2018, we did it in Copacabana Beach in Rio. One of the most successful one, but we go everywhere, every country. This is just a 2 minutes video that shows you what we expect, and this is the last one. I have within the time. I show time of 5 minutes. and technology. And you get the point. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kongoli. We have 15 minutes for questions, okay? Pode fazer pergunta, por favor, senhora?
Okay. Can I ask? Okay. First of all, thank you very much. It was very interesting. I was a little bit concerned when you started with the drone at the beginning. Are you listening? Can you hear me?
They are not hearing. I hear you, but they do not hear you. The translators.
Okay. He's saying the translators are not here. Okay. I said I just loved your opening, bringing the image that you collected here in our exhibitions, and also adding the other two aspects of the drone. I have just one question. In terms of those pillars, I agree entirely with what you say in terms of sustainability, but who measures? That's my question.
Who measures?
Who is going to measure? Because one thing is to establish the criteria, the government, social, and so on. Who is going to measure? How that will affect the measurement?
That's a good question. So basically, just to try to explain the question in different terms. So there are criteria, as I mentioned. There are also pillars. Then the right question is, who is going to measure the criteria? And then we have almost finished a software that's doing that. So it will be used for any government, any municipality, anything in terms of numbers. It will give you a number. You are 70% sustainable, 80% sustainable, and giving a specific number for each of the criteria. So this is, has been on the work for some time. We are finishing, but this is a very important question because you need numbers, not just not only qualitative, but also quantitative. So we're going to put numbers in each activity, and this can be used by any organization, government, municipality, federal government, state government, to determine first if this project that we're going to fund, if we found it is sustainable. We can speak and speak and speak, but at the end of the day, we're going to give the numbers based on the criteria. Okay?
Bem, lembrando que a tradução para português é canal 2 e para o inglês 8.
Hi, Dr. Florian. My name is Mario Linhares. First, I have two questions. First, how do you feel as an honorary carioca that you are to be in Rio de Janeiro for Rio Agro?
Well, I feel sustainable. So what Mario is saying is that I am an honorary carioca. Eu sou carioca. So since 2019, with the decision of the City Council of Rio de Janeiro, we had 45 minutes. For the first time in the history of the municipality, the ceremony was done in English for me. So I felt very honored, and I feel really good to be again here. Well, I've been here before, but not in the conference, so I've been frequently. But I feel very honored. Actually, I wrote in my social media the moment I ended up in Sandimar Airport that I feel the aroma of Rio de Janeiro directly from the airport, even without landing. So I feel honored and sustainable because it's a city. It's close to my heart. It's a big speech I did in the city council at 2019. Everything is in the website, by the way. All the speech, all the videos of the ceremony. But I feel honored. And so when I say sustainable, I mean it.
And the second question I have is, what are your impressions of Rio Agro, and what is the great legacy of this event?
Yes. So this is, as I said from the beginning, in the opening, I started congratulating Carlos for organizing all this. Why? Because this is something that it was timely and it was very needed. So you see has been our error, that we have been doing SIPs, Sustainability through Science and Technology, for 20 years, and agro is not there. It's something that we have to correct. So this is one of my overlooked, but how you get in this? By being here. I said what an error we have done. So that's why the cooperation. That's why knowing each other. You have new ideas, you have new development, and so that's why I was thinking we have to have, a symposium. It's completely different. We're going to cooperate. They are complementary. They are not competing. It's just a symposium for a specific thing among other 50 for synergy. Here we are concentrating only agro. Perfect. And here I'm very happy to see that the 3 pillars of sustainability I mentioned there are actually here. We have the government, we have academia, researchers, and we have also the farmers. So this is starting from here. This is sustainability, because you can speak about sustainability by not being sustainable, but here it is. You are sustainable and speaking about sustainability. So there are a lot of, I've been in many congresses around, are questions about sustainability, and the replies nothing to do with any sustainability. They're just saying for nothing. So you go there and then you see that nothing sustainable is being written. So here you have I saw in presentations, growth has been a concern. It was a question. It was somebody asked a question to a participant, I think, how can we be profitable by being sustainable? I would have replied it completely different. I didn't get the reply that I wanted, but yes, not how can we be profitable by being sustainable, but sustainability includes being profitable. Is economic growth. Is economic growth. Without growth, you are not sustainable. You have to be profitable. Otherwise, you have to depend on the government to give you money until when? Until the money are huge inflation. So, sustainability implies to be profitable. And there is huge possibility, by the way, to be profitable. Even it's a little bit more difficult, but I mean, you have to fulfill the 3 criteria. So you can protect the environment for so long, and then you see that that's what they actually did. Now we are in the crisis, and politicians say, oh, we forgot the economy, now we have to run the economy, we have to take care of the economy. But in this run, they might forget environmental protection, they might forget quality of people. So jumping in one direction is a free electron, but then what is the criteria? It is here. You have to fulfill the 3 of them. And this is the legacy, to return to the question. Legacy of Rio Agro is, from the start, is really magnificent. This has to be continued in this direction every 2 years or every 3 years. But this gives the importance of agro in the world. We're speaking about food since 1798, okay? And now we have an agro conference. So it's not anymore a luxury, it is a necessity. It is a necessity. Using these criteria and possibility of using automation, AI, all this field of science, all these researchers, development can be used to achieve the 3 criteria. So this is the legacy of Rio Agro, and this is a great one because we'll give the future generation the way how to proceed. And speaking about food and not discussing about the ways how to increase the food and the quality of food, it doesn't make sense. That's why this Rio Agro fills a big gap. Fills actually our gap, because we never thought to include agro in. We have 50 different symposia in different fields, and the agro is not there. So that's a great legacy.
Mais alguma pergunta? Nenhuma pergunta? Acabou? Podemos encerrar? Tem aqui uma pergunta? Não? Sim. Muito obrigada, senhor Florian Kongoli. E eu convido o Dr. João Ricardo para comparecer aqui ao palco para entregar uma placa de homenagem.
Hello, yes, I have the microphone back. So it's really a pleasure and honor to have this from my good friend and colleague, João Ricardo. We've been friends for a long time. He's a regular participant in SIPS, and it's our highlight of SIPS. So includes medicine and politics. So there are two hats in his personality, so which I like a lot. So it's a real pleasure to have this from João Ricardo. He considers himself the most modern city councillor, but it's not true. He is really one of the best.
Florian, é uma grande honra ter o Dr. Kongoli aqui no Brasil. A gente insistiu muito para que ele viesse. Ele realmente tem uma visão de muita vanguarda realmente nesses temas que a gente muitas vezes não costuma entender. Eu queria agradecer o Florian, queria agradecer o Favoreto por ter trazido o Florian para cá, para enriquecer esse simpósio que, como ele falou, né, tá na hora certa, tá? E I think you understood. You understood that we are very happy to have you here again.
I understand 90% speaking is a different story.
Once again for having this marvelous symposium here. And I hope not every 2 years, every year. Yeah, let's make it. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado a todos, hein, pela.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Informando a todos que o Dr. João Ricardo ele é vereador do Rio de Janeiro. Obrigada, senhores. Bem, a nossa próxima sessão envolve 3 palestras.